Hello guys, today we are gonna be taking a look on Easy Road Generator version 1.3 that I'm gonna be releasing today, thankfully, right? So what you are seeing here right now is the Easy Road Generator version 1.3, right? This is a tool that I've been developed to help me improve my personal workflow in ArcViz. I am a 3D artist and working mostly for ArcViz. So making roads is always a pain in the ass, let's say that, because sometimes you have to build a sidewalk, put lamp lights, uh, put the lanes and everything, like making the shaders looks good. And that's why I developed this tool based it's a geometry node based tool that I developed to make my life easier, because sometimes, and it's that frequently, that you need to adapt your road to your terrain, right? So the first version of Easy Road Generator was just for create the way that the easy road would be built, and then the second version I was fixing some bugs and things like that, and I introduced the terrain projection, right? So I could project my road on top of a terrain. However, if the terrain was very bumpy, it doesn't work as expected. So for the version 1.2, I kind of fixed that and made the terrain adapt kind of to the road to be like more what happens on real life. So we don't have the roads bumpiness anymore. However, we still have some limitations, and I'm addressing those. I don't know if the way I'm going now it will be the final way. I think I will improve that, because I am not an expert of geometry nodes. I'm just improving on that as I study more and more. But for now, I think that will solve a big issue that was a limitation for the previous versions. And basically this limitation was, I will show you here and you will see what I'm talking about. But the limitation was that it wasn't you weren't allowed to create blocks of roads unless you would do different sections and then convert that into meshes and then cut it here and there, add it by yourself, right? That still would make your life easier. However, that could be very painful if you have a terrain that you have to project your road there, right? So I have addressed this issue in this way that I'm going to show you here in this version of this generator, right? This is what you get when you will open your version, the Easy Road Generator. You can see here that I have couple different options here, and those options are there for a reason, right? It's a way I could figure out to overcome those limitations for now. That means that this is the best way? No, but that's a way that you can use it and do what you want. Okay, so these options are sidewalk only, curb only, planter only, and planters is fixing, the sidewalks is fixing, and the rest you know already what it is. So for now, I'm not worried about implementing new lamp lights or details on the sidewalk, because that's something that will be easier than the foundation that I'm creating now, which is kind of having a reliable workflow. And that's what matters for me. Make your life easier and you spend less time to build complex roads. Okay? So for now, you can still keep modeling the same way as before, right? You still can be modeling the same thing. Let's go here, right? Select these guys here. But that's the issue. Right now, if you try to close these roads and make a road with this hole inside, you will end up at this issue, right? So this is basically your mesh is screwed up, right? And that's why that happens. Well, that's because of geometry, the way the geometry node works and the options that you have at this time. There is a way to figure out this, yes, but you have to be very, very expert and deep going into geometry nodes. And I'm pretty sure that Blender Foundation will create or will give us better options that are still not available in the future for those kind of issues. So for now, I've just created a turning around, something that you can like do to achieve this using the same road generator and not having these issues in a very base level, which means that no matter what they change in the future, probably it will not affect this version. By the way, this version it will run like smoothly just on Blender 3.4.1 for the future. So if you try to run this version on Blender 3.3, that will not work. I don't know why they changed something on geometry nodes that it's affecting this. So make sure that you are using the latest Blender version to use this version. Okay, so in this case, let's take these guys, copy it here, right? So we have this as a reference, so we see what was going wrong just for the reference, right? Let's put it outside. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This here, assets. All right. So let's take these guys here and delete it. Let's delete it. Okay. So right now, what we have to do to achieve this without the issue, without this issue here. First, we don't need those edges. Let's just delete that. Right? Don't worry about this. This you can invert your sidewalk or not, but let's just leave this the way it was now, because maybe in the modeling process it will fit. I don't know. Okay? The only thing you have to do now is kind of keep modeling normally, like press F and then you close the gap. You see that fixed, you don't need to change anything here. Okay, let's add a vertex here, combine it here, combine it here. Okay, so right now we have the same profile as before, right? We have the same profile here, but how can we achieve these guys without this issue? Okay, let's just go here and this face, let's duplicate the face, right? So we will have this pretty bad issue, but now that's the tricky. That's it. Now you just separate, so you have two road systems, right? It solved your problem? No, it still didn't solve your problem, because you are not going to be using the same options as this guy. For now, let's just model this to kind of adapt more or less what we have up there. Okay, something like this. However, instead of using these settings, you are gonna change it to sidewalk only. So yeah, you do a quick movement and that will be projected right on your road. So now you have your sidewalk and you also have your road here. Okay, so let's say that you want to go a bit more complex here and you want to do 2 blocks, let's say, right? Just expand this guy as you would do, take this road, this sidewalk, and copy here. Okay, if for some reason this sidewalk flip it or something, like this area goes inside, you don't need to detach, and you don't need to separate and invert sidewalk. You just invert it here pressing Ctrl M. Let me add this screencast again. You just need to press Ctrl M, and you're supposed to invert the sidewalk. Okay, but it's always good, it's doing well, so keep going. Okay, now let's say you have these two sidewalks and you want to be even more, you want to do even more complex things, right? Let's keep modeling the base. Okay, let's say you want to make a roundabout, you know, a roundabout. Okay, let's do something like this, something like this. Oops. Something like this, something like this, maybe, right? Like this, like this. You just want to make something circular. Okay. Let's say you have this guy here and you want to make a roundabout here. You can copy one of these guys here, somewhere around here. But let's say you don't want to have the sidewalk, you will just want to have the curbs and then grass, and that's all. So let's say that this area is not for lamp lights or not, or it's just a little grass and the trees or something, right? And you don't want to have the sidewalk as it is. You just need to separate this one. Press P, you separate these, right? And then you can remove the lampposts, so you don't have the lampposts now. And instead of this, you activate curbs only, so you just have the curbs only. Okay, and you tell me, okay, but this doesn't fix the issue if I want to have let's say if I want to have something inside it, right? Because in real life there is no this hole here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do that after I project, because it's going to be even more complex and you will see that that works really well. Okay, so that's how you get the same thing here but without those issues, using the new road generator. Okay, and let's project to a terrain, because that's the main point here, right? It's getting complex. So I just have this terrain right here and I want to project this guy here. Okay, as you can do in the version 1.2, you just select this and project to terrain, and that will be projected here. Okay, once it's projected, as you know, as you see from the previous tutorial, you hide the terrain reference here and you have your road projected on your terrain, and everything should work just fine. Okay, you see the terrain adapts as a real life, as it happens in real life, so you have a very reliable road. Okay, but now let's say you want to have these parts filled up with something. Okay, you just go here, let's say copy this guy, Ctrl D, and instead of having those options, you just use planter only, and planter only will create a line. Actually it's a mesh edge around the center of the curb or the sidewalk. In this case, if you go to sidewalk 0 and curb 0, you will create around the curb, because the curbs is 1, sidewalk 0, it means that it's taking account the curb. Okay, so now you have created around here, so you just convert that into mesh, select everything, press F, that's it. You have your middle part fulfilled. Okay, the same here for the sidewalks, you just duplicate it, Ctrl D, and then you go here, but at this time you have the sidewalk 1, so you press planter only, convert that into mesh, select everything, press F, that's it. So you can do now pretty complex systems of roads, and the lanes are, you just need to be editing the lanes and it will be following everything. Okay, let's say you want to put the divisions 1, so you get the divisions here, here, you get your divisions, right here. Why not here as well? Let's apply it here as well. So, okay, you can give it the same material for the lens as a landscape or whatever you want it, right? Here the same thing, right? So that's pretty much it. That's the main point. Now you can create complex road systems. As you can see for the image, this video I've created an entire small city using just this road system, and it was way less time consuming than if I was trying to do that and adapting to the terrain and trying to model that by myself. It just takes a couple minutes and you have everything you need just right there. I hope you guys like it and stay tuned for the next updates. See you soon.